Life's greatest wisdom often comes wrapped in adversity's clothing. The moments that shake us, break us, wake us up at 3 a.m., questioning everything. These are our silent teachers. You see, we're conditioned to run from pain, to avoid discomfort, to see obstacles as enemies standing in our way. But what if every roadblock was actually a redirect? What if every closed door was life's way of showing us where to look next? What if our greatest setbacks were actually setups for something more? I remember sitting in my car after losing everything I thought mattered. Career gone, relationship shattered, bank account empty, the kind of moment where the world seems to stop spinning. And in that stillness, I heard the first lesson. The teacher of adversity doesn't speak with words. It speaks through silence, through the space between what was and what could be. It's funny. We spend so much time trying to avoid life's storms that we forget something crucial. Storms don't just destroy, they clear paths. They make way for new growth. Every time you've been knocked down, every time you've felt lost, every time you've wanted to give up, you are actually being prepared, shaped, forged into something stronger. Our second silent teacher is discomfort. That voice in your head saying, "This isn't right," isn't trying to hurt you, it's trying to move you. Like a muscle that only grows under tension, your spirit only expands when stretched beyond its comfort zone. The universe has a peculiar way of working. It will keep sending you the same lesson, packaged in different forms, until you finally understand what it's trying to teach you. The hardest lessons often come wrapped in loss. That empty chair at the dinner table, that dream that slipped through your fingers, that relationship you thought would last forever. We're taught to fear loss, aren't we? To see it as the enemy, to build walls so high that nothing can be taken away. But here's what I've come to understand. Loss isn't just about what's taken away. It's about what's revealed when everything else is stripped bare. Think about it. When you lose your job, you find your resilience. When you lose your path, you find your creativity. When you lose your certainty, you find your courage. It's like a forest after a fire. What looks like destruction is actually nature's reset button. The ashes become nutrients. The sunlight finally reaches the forest floor, and life finds a way to not just survive, but thrive. You see, loss has a way of clearing the clutter, of stripping away the non-essential, of showing us exactly what we're made of. When you lose what you thought you couldn't live without, you discover what's been within you all along. The strength you didn't know you had, the resilience you couldn't see, the power that was waiting to be unleashed. So, perhaps loss isn't a punishment, it's a renovation. It's life's way of making room for what's next, of preparing you for what's meant to be. Because sometimes, the most beautiful chapters of our lives can only be written on blank pages. And in that space between what was and what will be, that's where the real magic happens. That's where we become who we were always meant to be. Here's what nobody tells you about life's hardest moments. They're not happening to you, they're happening for you. When you're in the middle of the storm, when the waves are crashing over your head, when you feel like you're drowning in uncertainty, that's not your destruction, that's your reconstruction. Think about it. Every rejection is a redirect. That no that broke your heart, it was life's GPS, recalculating your route, taking you off the familiar road, and pushing you toward the path you were meant to walk all along. Every failure is feedback, but not in the way most people think. It's not just about what went wrong. It's about what's being revealed, about who you're becoming, about the strength you never knew you had. You see, failure isn't a stop sign, it's a chisel. sculpting away everything that's not meant to be part of your masterpiece. Every ending is a new beginning in disguise. Those closed doors, they're not walls, they're waypoints, guiding you toward what's next, toward what's better, toward what's meant for you. The silent teachers don't care about your comfort. They care about your growth. They care about who you're becoming, about the potential sleeping within you. Like a seed breaking through concrete, like a butterfly fighting its way out of a cocoon, like a phoenix rising from its own ashes. The struggle isn't optional, it's essential. This is the awakening. Understanding that your obstacles are not in your way, they are the way. Your challenges are not your burden, they are your blueprint. And once you see it, really see it, everything changes. The weight becomes wings, the pressure becomes power, the struggle becomes strength. And that's when you realize you're not just surviving these moments, you're being shaped by them, being forged by them, being transformed by them into something stronger than you ever imagined possible. So now you stand at a crossroads. In this moment, as in every moment, you have a choice. You can see these moments as your enemies, as proof that life is against you, as evidence that you're not meant for more. Or you can see them as they truly are, as guides showing you exactly where you need to grow, as maps revealing the territories of your potential, as mirrors reflecting back the strength you've always had within you. The question isn't whether you'll face challenges. You will. The storms will come, the ground will shake, the path will seem unclear. But the real question, the only question that matters, is this: will you recognize them as the teachers they are? Will you see the wisdom hidden in your wounds? Will you find the strength waiting in your struggles? Because here's the truth: every challenge that stands before you is an invitation to become more than you are. Every obstacle in your path is an opportunity to prove to yourself what you're made of. The choice has always been yours. It's not about what happens to you. It's about how you choose to see it, how you choose to use it, how you choose to grow through it. Let me tell you something that took me years to understand. Your obstacles aren't in your way. They are the way. Like a river finding its path to the ocean, like a mountain being shaped by the wind. Every resistance you face is sculpting you into who you're meant to become. Your challenges aren't your burden. They're your blueprint. They're not weighing you down. They're showing you how to rise up. Every hurdle, every setback, every moment of doubt. They're not random acts of chaos. They're precise instruments of transformation. Your setbacks aren't your story. They're your setup for something bigger, for something stronger, for something you can't even imagine yet. The silent teachers are always speaking, in the quiet moments before dawn, in the chaos of your biggest struggles, in the spaces between who you are and who you're becoming. The silent teachers are always speaking, in the quiet moments before dawn, in the chaos of your biggest struggles, in the spaces between who you are and who you're becoming. They speak in the language of experience. They write their lessons in the ink of adversity. They paint their wisdom on the canvas of your life. Are you ready to listen? Are you ready to see what they've been trying to show you? Are you ready to become what they've been preparing you for? Because the greatest truth of all is that you've been ready all along. You just needed to learn how to listen. Because when you finally understand that every obstacle is an opportunity, when you see that every closed door leads to an open horizon, that every setback is a setup, that every shadow cast is showing you where the light will break through, that every challenge is a chance to prove to yourself what you're made of, to discover what's been within you all along, to become who you were always meant to be. That's when everything changes. That's when the walls that once confined you become the foundations you build upon. That's when you realize you were never losing. You were learning. You were collecting pieces of your own power. You were gathering wisdom for this moment. you were never falling apart. You were falling into place, like stars arranging themselves into constellations, like pieces of a puzzle finding their perfect fit. The silent teachers have been with you all along, in every tear, in every triumph, in every moment that tested you, in every morning you chose to rise again. And they're not done teaching yet, because the greatest chapters of your story are still waiting to be written. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning of who you're becoming, of what you're capable of everything that awaits. Listen closely. Your next lesson is about to begin.